I'm joined by Jack Orr, a GP in Stoke-on-Trent who's been using Attend Anywhere very successfully for a number of years. Jack, can you tell me a bit about how you started off with Attend Anywhere?
So we started off initially looking at trying to cut down on travel and manual sort of carrying of notes to a care home, and that progressed slowly to using laptops that we physically had to drag. And so working with a team from Cumbria and Redmore Health and the CCG, we initially started trialing sort of video consultation or telecommunication using Skype was the initial bit. The problem we found with Skype was that certainly this wasn't Skype for Business, that once you shared a video consultation, the other party had access to your contact details. So we were worried that someone could just basically contact us in the middle of the night or the weekend, or if they were urgently ill, and left us in a quandary. So we went through a number of various video system providers, and we found that nothing really sort of fit our bill of wanting to work much more flexibly across teams, across sites, and also be very patient focused. So we settled on Attend Anywhere, which was a suggestion, having gone through quite a lot of other systems, where it allowed the flexibility. It was platform agnostic, so we could use it on Windows, you could use it on a Mac, you could use it on a tablet, you could use it on a phone, you could use it on Linux, any of these. And it was also clinical system agnostic. So we weren't tethered and linked to our clinical system of choice. So the hurdle we needed to get over was that it also didn't work on a slot-based system. So our traditional way of working is, Rebecca, you've got your clinic and you start with 10, 15-minute appointments, and you carry on, and I'll start my clinic and we'll sort of maybe meet up for, a chatter or a cup of tea at lunch. And in a very much a sort of promoted silo working, we wanted to kind of get away from that. There was a lot of fear initially that we would just open up the floodgates, but actually having adopted that sort of new way of working, we actually found that it's a lot more flexible than we think, and it's much more patient focused.
So you started off with the care homes, which allowed you to see the care home patients without having to cart notes around or laptops and things like that. How are you using it nowadays?
So with care homes, that's extended now. So we do our MDTs as well as, so interestingly, again, because we're able to set up waiting rooms, then, so one of our care home waiting rooms, which is just shared with care homes, they don't go through the reception, a virtual or a physical reception. They have a direct access into the care homes. And we also know that people turning up there have a genuine reason. So actually the care homes filtered themselves and the systems filtered itself. So we can actually have a very timely response. It's not like someone wanting a repeat prescription of, paracetamol is in the same queue as the care home where someone's sort of becoming increasingly short of breath. So we've done that for rapid response to care homes, and we have a team that has access just to that waiting room for care homes, and it's a very responsive thing. The other thing also is the care homes we use for MDTs. So we're able to send the link out where the CPN, family social workers can all meet together. In those are planned care within the care home setting or within the care home waiting room, meeting room for the care homes. So
that sounds brilliant.
And we also use that now for acute request as well as an initial, an initial sort of scoping exercise. And whatever we can't deal with, we can always basically fall back on a visit, and that allows us to. So people, especially I think clinicians, get very hung up on, well, actually, what happens if I need to visit? I might as well not have done it. But actually, there's an awful lot you can get through an initial. Even if triaging to say, well, actually they're not short of breath, actually it can wait for a visit, or actually the readings and the patient looks terrible, you need to call for an ambulance now.
So can I just probe a bit more how that works then? So you have a separate waiting room for care homes. The care home staff have got that link, and is the waiting room only open certain hours? So they can't at 3 o'clock in the morning, say, expect to get a response from you?
Yes, so that's right. So in the same way that, so if we think about virtual, say for example, a virtual telephone system or our current telephone system, if a care home tries to call us at 6 o'clock in the morning, it gets diverted to 111, or it just says, look, we're shut. You know, there's nothing, you can't get through to anyone. So if someone tries to come through, even though that care home virtual care home waiting room's open, it's physically shut, and the care home gets a message to say we're shut. So that's open Monday to Friday from 8 o'clock until it's normally about 5 o'clock.
And who's monitoring that?
So because we've got a population of about 27,000, we've got 6 patient-facing sites, 1 back office team. We've leveraged some of our scale to basically have a small team just dedicated to that. Again, we have people who are just focused around care home work, which is very different to sort of, I guess, normal standard work, and they're able to deal with, so they know what a Mars is, they know which week of the cycle you're in, they know about the typical workings of a care home, and they're best suited to respond to that.
Great, so you'd have a dedicated team of clinicians who can see it pop up and then take that case off and deal with it.
No, so that's the other bonus. So the first line isn't clinicians. We've got a pharmacy tech, although she is as good as a clinician in my eyes, she's excellent. And we've also got care home administrators who are experienced admin staff who know how care home works. They'll deal with that. So often the very tedious and simple requests, such as, can we have some more barrier cream? The pharmacy hasn't sent so and so drugs. Can we have the results of this? Actually, they're able to meet those needs quite quickly without endless faxes or phone calls sort of going around. Before, we used to turn up and there'd be a book of 6 pages of queries.
I remember it well. That's why I'm an out-of-hours doctor. I mean, it's such a problem. So you're actually funneling all your care home work, not just the clinical issues, through this route. It's being overseen by administrators in your farm tech who can pick stuff off and then presumably send through to the clinicians the things that really do need a GP response.
Yes, or any clinical response. And the beauty of that, with it being digital, is that with the number of sites that we've got, it's whoever's next available. So the usual thing of being due to doc and sort of just praying at the start of the day just to get through that day, that fear is sort of, if you like, diluted. So the gains are shared and the risks are shared.
That sounds brilliant. Have you had any teething trouble or any issues that have come up when you've done this? Because this is such a big change to how so many of us organise work. I can imagine some colleagues would be quite anxious. Were there any major obstacles, risks, or other things you had to overcome?
Yeah, so there's some of the so conceptually this is very different. So conceptually, understanding what individual admin roles on, if you look at the setup, you've got to invest a bit of time to understand how the system works. You're moving people from room to room or waiting area to waiting area, rather than letting them just sort of stay in one particular bit. So some of that is around an admin and how you deal with that, how you meet and greet them. So the setup of the system needs a little bit of time and attention initially. The other thing is that we found that people firmly fell into 2 camps. Ones that were quite up for it and wanted their Britain's Got Talent, sort of their moment of fame on video, and those that were sort of adamant that I've not done my hair or done my makeup today, can't possibly go on. But actually much more so was the fear that maybe someone's recording this, or maybe there's someone off screen looking at this. And I think as a profession, we need to get over that. Someone could walk into your normal clinic, and they may have a recorder in there pocket, or that they may bring someone else. And we should be as transparent and as sort of open as we are, and assume that actually anything you say, is potentially sort of within earshot.
Great. So it's those cultural issues rather than any sort of practical or governance issues. Brilliant.
Yes. Yeah.
Thanks. So it's really useful to know how you've set it up for the care home. I'm going to end this video here, but future videos we'll talk with Jack about how he uses this product within his surgery. Thank you, Jack.
Okay.